Hey guys, in this video we will talk about WordPress, and I'll show you guys how to install WordPress on your local host and how to create a login form, a front-end login form on your website. Because usually after you install the WordPress, in order to log into your dashboard, you should, and that's the trick, because when you log in from that page, you log in into your dashboard, you are redirected to your dashboard. So let me show you an example. Like I have installed it already. I'll show you. I'll delete everything and I will install it again. I'm just trying to show you an example. So WordPress. So you have your website's name / wp hyphen and then or admin or login.php. When you press enter, and here you type in your credentials. After you typed in, you press login, and if your credentials are correct, then you're gonna be redirected to the dashboard. But there is a need for a front-end login form. So we will create another page in WordPress, like websites. This is gonna be your domain / login, and then here is gonna be a separate page where you'll have your login form. And even if you type in some wrong credentials, whenever you click on this login button, these errors are gonna popping up on the same page, so it won't redirect you to the dashboard. And if you type in the correct credentials, you're gonna be redirected to the home page. And even if you go back to that login form, and if you are logged in already, it's gonna tell you the user is already logged in, and we will have an exit button or like logout button, as something similar to what we have here. But I see this bar just because I'm an admin. You can take it off if you want to. So whenever you click on this link, this is gonna sign you out. So as a local machine, I use XAMPP. You can download it from Google. If you go on google.com and you type in here XAMPP, let me see, XAMPP download, you'll have the first result is gonna show you XAMPP, Apache, Friends, or something like that. Just click on go to download link, and here you have XAMPP for different operation system. For Linux, for Windows, you just pick the one you need. Download it from here, install it, just follow those steps, press next, and then after you're done, just open your app. You're gonna have a shortcut, an icon like that on the desktop. Open your app, and here where you have your Apache and MySQL, just click on these buttons because you should have their start and start. Mine are already running, so and then just close it, and then go to your PC, open your PC, and go to your local disk C or wherever you installed your XAMPP. Find the XAMPP folder, open it, and then in the XAMPP folder you should have an htdocs folder. And here is the place where you should paste your PHP files or any other extension you have in order for your website to run. And just by default you'll have some files there. I would recommend you to delete all of them from there because you don't really need it for this example, or just copy them and copy in a different folder, paste them on the desktop or somewhere, so you won't get confused. These files right here, this is the WordPress I have right now, is this website. I'm gonna delete everything I have from here, and then I'm gonna go to WordPress.org, and I'm gonna download the WordPress. Here I can find the latest version of WordPress. Click download, and I download in my downloads folder. Just close this one, go to my downloads, and here this is my new folder. I'm just copy it, going to htdocs, I will paste it here, and I will unzip it. I will extract everything into this folder. So if you have another folder like this, make sure you open all of them until you find these files where you have your WordPress admin, WordPress content, and WordPress includes. Copy everything, cut them from here, go back and paste them in your htdocs directly, like this. Then after that, just remove your zip file and that folder which wasn't zipped, and leave just these files you have right now. After you did all this stuff, go to your local host, just type in on your URL field there, localhost / php myadmin, and press enter. Now this is gonna open your php myadmin dashboard here, and what you should click on the database tab and then create a new database. So let's call it new WP. So collection, you can choose here UTF-8 general CI. Click create, and you are right now in your new database. Copy your new database name, just like this. Go back to your, open a new tab if you want to. Open a new tab and type in localhost. Press enter. This is gonna open your WordPress installation. Here you choose your language. I'm gonna choose English. Click continue. This is some instructions. Click let's go. And then here where you have your database name, just delete what you have there and paste this the database you just created. So paste it there. The username by default is root. So if you just installed your example, you didn't make any changes in your settings, then it's root. And then where's the password field, leave it empty because you don't have any password. If you have one, you type in your password if you choose one, but when you just install it, you don't have any password there. Click submit, and then if it tells you alright Sparky, if you get this notification here, just click the run the installation button. And then down here you choose your site title, like that, username, and choose admin. Here I'm gonna put like school. If the password is weak, just press this confirm password and choose an email. Put my email here. You can click on this discourage search engine from indexing this site. So for example, if you are working on let's say on a live website and you install this WordPress on a live domain, and you don't want the search engines like Google, Bing, Yandex, Yahoo to index your website or to crawl it, just choose this option here. And then after that, click install WordPress. This is gonna redirect you to the dashboard if everything went good. It's taking a while. That's because my laptop is a little slow. So you see success. WordPress has been installed. Thank you and enjoy. You click on your login button. This is your login form to log into your dashboard. Now let's log in here. So I had my admin there and then the password. Okay, let's log into the dashboard. You want to choose a theme here. Probably by default you should have a theme by default here. And remember what theme you have. Right now it's 2017. And the first thing we want to do is go to all pages. Like let's add a new page and we will call it a login. And we'll just click publish for now. You can close your php myadmin. And then after that, let's go ahead and open our htdocs folder. So here you'll see your WordPress, like your WordPress files. Now open your WordPress content folder, and then from here you have three other folders. Open the themes folder, and here you should look for your theme, the one you have installed. So let me see, it's like 2017. Mine is 2017. It's right here. Open 2017 folder, and where you have your functions file, this is the main file that has all these functionalities for your theme. Let's open this functions file. Just read something like that. Okay, go at the bottom of this file, and here we want to generate a shortcut which will output our login form. And in order to do, like, if you don't know anything about WordPress, I would recommend the website, which is htdocs.wordpress.org. Here you can find any information about any WordPress functions. Because right now here we will use we use a function add shortcode. This add shortcode function is made by WordPress. So if you type in add shortcode, you'll see here add shortcode function, and here you have the description. It tells you how many parameters you should have in order to use this function. You should have a tag and a function here, and then it tells you like examples, shows some examples, notes. So codex.wordpress.org, this is the website where you want to search for any function you don't know what it does. I'm just gonna paste my code here so I can save time, but you guys go ahead and write it by yourself so you can practice more. I will also leave a link to my GitHub account where you can find it and download it from there. So my code starts from here, from this comment. Now everything starts from this function. We have an add short function. This is a WordPress function, and this function generates a shortcut. As you see in this comment here, this is the shortcut we should use on our login page. So this is the shortcode, and then the second parameter is the function which runs everything. So this is the VR login shortcode function. I wrote this function. This is not a WordPress function, this is my function, and we have two parameters, attributes and the content. We don't use the content in this function, so I just assign a false value to it. Now the attributes, we assign to the attributes another WordPress function, which is shortcode attributes htts, and then it has two parameters. It has an array with a redirection URL, which is the URL where the user is going to be redirected after it typed in the correct credentials. And then the second variable is the actual attributes variable. So we assign everything to the same variable. And then after that we return another function, but when we return, we call this function, which is getDR login form. This is the function above this one. So this function has the login form HTML code, and then we have as a parameter those attributes. So as a parameter we get the URL, which is the home URL. Home URL is a WordPress function too. You can check on their codex. So we call this function. Let's go back to this function. Here we get the redirection URL, and then we check here if it's different than, or let's say if is user logged in, which means if we remove this sign from here and if we would leave it like that, then we will show this function only for users that are logged in. As you see on the function's name, is user logged in. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. Go back. This means if the user is not logged in, then we show this form from here. So we have a return variable, and we assign the form tag here, we have a class too. Actually two classes. You can remove them from here because this is from my other team. In another team I have these classes in my CSS, so you can remove them from here, if you want. And then here we have another variable, and we assign to this variable another function, which is getVRErrors. This getVRErrors will contain the errors in case the user typed in a wrong username or password. And then here we check if errors. It means if this function assign anything to this variable, then we want to show that error here above our fields. And then we return this is the paragraph. We have a label here. We have first field right here, which is for the username, and then we have the second field for password. And then if redirect, if we have URL now redirect parameter, which we have, then we want to add a hidden field and name it redirect, and as a value it is gonna have the URL. So this is like this is the way we send the URL through the post method, so we can know on the next page when the page loads, we will know where to redirect the user. And then here we have the submit button, which says login. Now this function is like a filter to escape this char from here, from the first parameter. On the second parameter you can choose here whatever you want. And then we close the form tag. And then here else, if the user is logged in, then we will output a link which will say the user is already logged in. So whenever we click on that link, we will be logged out and we will be redirected to the login page. And we assign all this data to the return variable. Then after that we just return the return variable. Now let's go back to our errors here, because I told you there's a function which is getVRError. Let's go up, and here is our function. This is the getVRErrors. And in this function we have a global variable which is VRErrors. And we check if VRErrors probably I should go higher so you can understand. So here we just call this function. Just keep in mind we call this function. We have a global variable here which is VRError. If this is a global variable, it means this variable should have some data from another function. And we get that data right here. We have another function which is VRLogin. This is the functionality function, where this is the action. This is happening actually when we click on that submit button. As you see here, add action. And this is the function that's getting executed. And here we have another variable which is global, of course. We assign, this is the same one from this function. So we assign the false value for it, and then we check if there is anything in the post method, in the username variable and in the password. Then we assign an array to our credentials variable, and here assign to this array the data from our post method, which is the username and password. And then here we assign to our user the WordPress sign on function. This function is signing on the user. So let's go back to our codex. Codex.org. I will show you the description of this function, WordPress sign on. There it is. So you see in the description, authenticates a user with option to remember credentials, replace the prohibited function. So this is how we use it: secure cookie and credentials. Which these ones are optionals, these parameters, but we put them here, the credentials here, and then to the secure cookie we made it false. And then if there is any errors, is WordPress error. It's a WordPress function which checks if there's any errors, assigned by this WordPress sign-on function, then we want to assign to the VR error variable, which is a global variable, as you see in this function and here too, the actual message of that error. So if there's any error, we assign the error to our VR global variable. Else, if there is any link in our redirect post, so this data from the post redirect comes from our hidden field from here. So we check if there's any link or anything in our redirect variable, and if there is, we check it with isSet, and we check it like that. So two ways on how to check it, double check. Then we redirect the WP redirect function redirects the user to this URL, and then we have the exit function. Now let's go back here because it looks like unclear. I didn't go through everything. So we get the errors from the previous function to our VR errors if we have any, of course. And then here we check if we have any errors, then we assign the error message to the return variable, and then we reassign to our VR error the false value, so we can reassign something new, like a new message or something like that. And then we just return this error message. Else, we just return false. So this data is getting assigned to our error function where we show it here. Now let's go ahead and save it. I'm just gonna copy this shortcut. I'll save this file. Let's go back to our dashboard. WordPress admin, I'll log in here. Okay, let's go to our pages. If you didn't create a login page yet, go ahead and create one, add a new one here. And I'm just gonna edit here. I have already a shortcut here because this is not the first time I'm trying to make this video, record it. And I'll paste it here, which is actually the same shortcut. Click on update. Now click on the permalink. And here you should see user is already logged in because we are already logged in. Now click on this link. If you click on it, it's gonna redirect you to the same page, which is login. But now you'll see your login form here. So whenever you type something here, like let's say admin, I'll put just a random password, we can see that the password you entered for the username admin is incorrect. Lost your password. This is the thing, when you click on the lost your password, it redirects you to the WordPress login PHP file. We didn't make any changes for that, but it is possible to change that page as well. So let me just type in the admin correct credentials, and here is going to be the password. Press login, it redirects you to the home page. And if you go to your login page, you can see the user is already logged in. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you in the next video.